Good day, everyone. My name is Travis Giffen. I am the Assistant Director of Online Programs at the University of Illinois. Thank you so much for joining us for this information session on Global Studies in Education, EDM program that is offered completely online through the University of Illinois. We have Professor Hyun, who is here with us, and we have several folks from online programs that will be sharing some about the program as we are getting ready to go through. I know some folks have already introduced themselves. We are so happy to see you here. If you have not done it so yet, please feel free to introduce yourselves. We are supposed to keep their microphone muted throughout this information session. We will have time for Q&A at the end, where folks can ask questions, but also feel free to type your questions into the chat as we go. We'll answer those as we go, and then we'll read some of those out when we get to Q&A at the end, so that those are on the recording for others who aren't able to join us right now today. So with that, continue forward. Please feel free to introduce yourselves. Let us know why you're interested in global studies in education. Throughout this program, you will learn about eligibility structure, admissions, and career paths. If you have any questions that you think of afterwards, you can always reach us at onlineprograms@education.illinois.edu, where we will be happy to answer them. Or you can also visit our webpage, and if you'd like to, you can ask our chatbot Eddie any questions 24/7. So that is also available for you. Just going to do a quick overview of some folks in the College of Education that you might interact with both tonight and throughout your program. I know Gina has already introduced herself in the chat. If you decide to apply for the program, you will likely be interacting with Gina quite a bit. She's our wonderful online academic and student services coordinator. You can see myself there. We also have Brianna Davis, our online student advisor, who would work with you as you're working through your program, working on your course schedule and have questions and things like that. We also have Sangeetha Gopalakrishnan, our Assistant Dean for Online Learning Innovations and Online Programs. She's also here with us today. And then in EPOL, you might interact with Laura Ketchum, who is the assistant to EPOL. She is also a very helpful person to know about. And with that, I'm going to hand things over to Professor Hyun.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Hyun Kang, an associate professor in the program Global Studies in Education. We go by GSE, so one of the 11 concentration areas in the Department of Education, Policy, Organization, and Leadership. So our program is one of the concentration areas in the Department of EPOL. So to provide you with an overview of the program GSE, so we are trying to engage students in scholarly explorations of educational and global change from diverse perspectives that include social justice, equity, global citizenship, and critical democracy, just to name a few. Our program places a great deal of emphasis on the globalization of policy, practice, pedagogy in different instructional settings and beyond. And core programmatic topics include human rights, children and youth in global context, climate change, sustainability, in relation to global citizenship education, just to name a few. As you might have noticed, our program is very diverse and interdisciplinary in nature, trying to provide our students with a diversity of backgrounds and also a diverse set of academic and practical skills to enable them to become education leaders, innovators, and researchers for today's challenging, ever-evolving, globalized world. So here is a list of faculty members in our concentration area. So I'm Dr. Hyun Kang, have been serving as the program coordinator for the past 3 years or so. And we have Professor Allison Witt, who's also serving as the Assistant Dean of International Programs in the College of Education. And Dr. Liv Davila, who's also serving as the co-director of graduate studies in the Department of EPOL, Education, Policy, Organization, and Leadership. And Professor Linda Herrera, whose area of research is about MENA and youth development, and focused on Egypt when it comes to geopolitics of global studies. And Dr. Sam Lindgren, assistant professor in the area of climate change, sustainability, and also global citizenship. And Professor Nathan Castillo, technology, instructional development in the context of international education. And Professor Rebecca Heinz-Pfeiffer, who is very making a substantial contribution to research methods, more specifically large-scale quantitative research methods and designs in our program and also in the department. So we offer Doctor of Education online and on-campus PhD and online Master of Education programs. So I'm here today to talk about one of the degree programs called EDM, Master of Education. So when it comes to content areas, specializations, I would say our EDM program is a good way of, testing the water, to get a sense of what constitutes global studies, globalization, and education. So the degree is offered in the Department of EPOL, Education Policy, Organization, and Leadership, with an emphasis on, with a concentration in GSE. So when it comes to the degree requirements, so 32 hours coursework. So we do not have a thesis requirement or any sort of a comprehensive exam. Instead, we have 32 hours of coursework. So one course carries 4 credit hours. That means the degree program requires 8 4-credit hour courses. So here's a list of, here's the breakdown of 8 courses you may consider picking and choosing. So 3 core concentration courses, mostly taught by the area professors I just touched upon. And also we have other amazing concentration areas where you can learn so much about different aspects of education policy, leadership, and such. So you can choose one elective from other EPOL foundation course, and you can pick one educational psychology foundation course, and then up to 3 courses you can choose. Speaking of other departments, we have 4 different departments. So EPOL is one of the 4 departments in the College of Education. So EPOL, Educational Policy, Organization, and Leadership, Educational Psychology, FC, Curriculum and Instruction, CNI, and Special Education. These are the 4 departments in the college. So GSE is one of the for departments called EPOL, Education Policy Organization and in Leadership, just to, make things a little bit more clear here. So a little bit more information about EDM course requirements. So so 3 courses out of 8 courses need to be 500 level coursework, which means, more advanced, Undergraduate courses are usually upperclassmen undergrad students usually take 300, 400, So technically you can take some 400 level courses as well, but at least 3 of them, 12 credit hours must be of 500 level coursework in education. And also I would say most of our students manage to complete their degree at EDM within 1 calendar year, like the fall semester, spring semester, and the summer session, okay? However, things can come up, unanticipated sometimes. So you would have up to 5 years, um, as a degree-seeking student in the Master of Education degree program, which is required by the graduate college outside of the College of Education. So yeah, things of the nature could be a little bit, confusing in a way, but we are here along with the, Travis, Brianna, Sangita, and other faculty and staff members to walk you through when it comes to degree requirements. Career opportunities, career path. I would say most of our students are, current professionals who are engaged in not just public school, formal schooling sectors, but also, some sort of educational industries, private education, international school, and such. So with the degree, the advanced degree in GSE, I believe, our graduates, can pursue further opportunities, for promotion or other related, career opportunities. So here's a list of some sort of job titles. We often hear our graduates, manage to pursue after the completion of EDM, sometimes during the program actually, okay? And also we have an amazing a network of alumni, who have been practicing in different sectors of education, global education, international education, not just in the US, but also around the world, as a matter of fact. So entering the EDM program means, getting the membership to the alumni, the social network in a way, through which you will get some sort of exposure to different or related career opportunities down the road. On top of EDM, Master of Education, and I also talked about EDD, Doctor of Education, PhD, Doctor of Philosophy, we have a graduate certificate called IEAL, International Education, Administration, and Leadership, through the concentration area, Global Studies in Education. So this could be IEAL, could be some kind of an add-on certificate to your degree, EDM, that will appear, in your transcript, in your University of Illinois transcript, when you apply for, different jobs, or when you have to verify, your credentials and such. you will be obtaining IEAL certificate on top of the EDM degree, academic degree. So there are like three courses required for the IEAL. But sometimes you can do kind of a double dipping. By that, I mean like as you plan, what courses to take, as you complete the electives, for instance, on top of the core concentration requirements, you can kind of choose courses for IEAL that could also be used for your EDM elective requirement. A little bit about the structure of our GSE courses. So we have like different groups of students and different like intellectual, practical, logistical needs, So to accommodate different needs as much as we can, you will have two options. One, fully online like courses. By that, I'm talking about, your classmates will be joining in class meetings, synchronous class meetings with the professor, sometimes with the professor and TA, along with the distance online students, like students who are in the online EDD, Doctor of Education, or Master of Education. Okay, so those courses are usually for 8 weeks. So term A, term B within the fall semester, for instance. And also there are 2 terms in the spring semester. And there are as many as 3 sessions in the summer session. Okay, and the other option is, some courses are for 18 weeks. So those courses are developed and delivered for not just for online students, online EDD, online EDM, but also for on-campus PhD students. And we have another degree called Master of Arts, so on-campus students. So those courses are usually 16 weeks long. Regardless, you will be obtaining 4 credit hours. Okay, so before you register, you may have to, read the description, of different courses. Again, available like early on, well before the registration deadline, or available online through the listserv and through the university website and such. And also we have an amazing group of faculty and academic staff members, always love to help you with any questions. Okay, and also, yes, all classes, unlike some other online courses, some other online programs out there, we are proud of offering synchronous class meetings, usually 3 hours, once a week, So the instructor of the record, usually professors with extensive research, teaching, professional experiences, interact with you, at the same time, in the same room, like mediated through technology. We have many, many opportunities for small group discussions and small group assignments. So very interactive, and also, a community of practice is an important aspect of our collaborative, time-sharing learning experiences. Okay, admissions.
And with this, I think Brianna's going to share.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy to talk about admissions. So hello, everyone. My name is Brianna Davis. I'm the online student advisor in the Office of Online Programs. So admission for this program is handled through our graduate college application. So if you decide that you would like to pursue one of our programs, you will need to apply via the graduate college application. After you submit your application and all required materials, your application will be reviewed by our program leaders at the College of Education. Our program leaders will make an admission decision, and then the graduate college will approve that decision based on campus requirements. So if you are recommended for admission, you will first receive a welcome email from our department here at the College of Education. And then from there, you would receive an official notification of admission from the graduate college, just to kind of give you an idea about what that process looks like. If you decide that you'd like to apply, we certainly encourage you to do so. We'd love for you to be a part of our program. You can apply at choose.illinois.edu/apply. It's linked here for your reference. Upon completion of the graduate certificate program, you will receive a formal certificate that's issued by the graduate college, and graduates of this program are invited to attend in-person and/or virtual graduation ceremonies. So we understand that it's not possible for everyone to make the trip to our campus here in Champaign, Illinois, but we certainly would love to meet you in person, even though this is a remote program. So you're absolutely welcome to join us in person at a graduation ceremony. Additional application information, upcoming deadlines for admission. So our next admission cycles are for our fall semesters. Our fall A semester, which will begin in August, has an application deadline of July 15th. So if you'd like to begin your studies this August, be sure to have your application submitted by that July 15th deadline. If you're not quite ready to apply for an August start date, you can also be considered for our Fall B term, which begins in October, and that application deadline is September 15th. Again, you can apply online at choose.illinois.edu/apply. You can learn more about our program at go.illinois.edu/GSE, which stands for Global Studies in Education, Ed.M. And there you'll be able to learn more about our program, and you can use our chatbot to ask questions 24/7. So if you are in need of immediate assistance or you just have a quick question, you can always use that chatbot, which is really nice. And then just some basic information about tuition and student financial aid, since cost is certainly a factor for a lot of our students. The current price per credit hour is $520. There are no additional fees beyond that for online students. Please note that tuition is subject to change and that the $520 per credit hour fee does not include the cost of textbooks or course materials. So from one course to the next, you may have some different additional costs for textbooks. If you are seeking financial aid, full-time student status for financial aid purposes is 6 credit hours per semester. So as Dr. Kong was mentioning, each of our courses in this program is worth 4 credit hours. That means that if you take 2 courses per semester, you will qualify for financial aid. If you have questions for our financial aid office, you can contact them at finaid@illinois.edu. They will likely tell you to begin by filling out the FAFSA, but of course, if you have any questions for them about how to do so, or just any general questions about financial aid opportunities, please reach out to them and they can assist you with that.
And with that, I'm taking back over. Thanks, Brianna. So why choose Education at Illinois? So we're glad that you've heard about us. We're a top tier research university. We are currently ranked number 7 for US News and World Report for our online master's program. We are pretty affordable, comparatively speaking, to other online master's programs. We have our world-class faculty like Dr. Kong and the others that she shared about and gave some insight into their research. We have an online student engagement as a focus for our program, and we have peers from all over the world, as was also mentioned. So many of you may be located somewhere else. Many of our current students and alumni are located all over the world. And we have extensive resources for online students, including access to our world-renowned library. This is just a link here if you'd like to read about our current ranking in US News and World Report. And with that, please go ahead and apply now. There's just the apply now link. And again, our email, if you have any questions, if you think of anything, those of you who are with us, you can always reach us at onlineprograms@education.illinois.edu. Also, those of you that might be watching this recording back, you can email us at any time, or you can visit our webpage, as we mentioned earlier, if you'd like to talk with our chatbot outside of normal office hours. Eddie does a really great job at answering a lot of those questions, like how much is tuition, when's the application deadline, some things like that. So, and with that, we are opening up for Q&A. Please feel free to type your chat questions in the chat, or you can raise your hand in the Zoom function. We have a small enough group here right now. You could turn on your camera if you want to do that, with a signal that you have a question to us, and we can call on you and get those questions. We have a question here in the chat already, a couple of them. Regarding books are most available online. This person is abroad. A lot of our books are online. Our library will also work with folks in mailing books from time to time, regardless of where you are located. If you have specific questions, we're happy to work with you. That would be a great thing that we could work with you if you reached out to us or Brianna directly, and we could coordinate some of those efforts there. As far as general admission requirements, students are required to have a bachelor's degree and at least a 3.0 GPA. Those are the two biggest things. There's no GRE scores required, which I know is something that gets asked time and time again. Any other questions from folks, or anything from online programs team that you'd like to add there to some of the questions that have been asked?
Yeah, Travis, I see that Rachel also asked about online student networking events. Did you want to highlight some of the alumni panels and career events that we've had in the past?
Yeah, absolutely. So in addition to all online students get to a welcome event at the start of the year to get introduced to other faculty, program leaders, and kind of get oriented to the program. We also have just about every month during the fall and spring semesters some sort of online program activity. More times than often, we have alumni back from the that are back visiting the program, sharing about what they're currently doing in their current positions, answering questions about what it is they're doing or their perspectives that they had as a student when they were in the program, either giving advice to students about coursework that they would consider taking, or things that they might be looking to do professionally as well. And that also provides an opportunity for online students to not only connect with alumni, but other online students in the program. And so if you'd like to see any of those sessions, email us at onlineprograms@education.illinois.edu, and we'd be happy to send you a link so you can see what some of those sessions have looked like before. Also, when you get this recording sent to you, they will be in the same playlist. So if you want to check out some of the other recordings that are in that playlist that will get sent to you with this recording, some of those do include some of those networking events that we also have. In addition to that, there are also many other online events that are coordinated through the EPOL department, Education Policy Organization and Leadership. And a lot of those are also made available via Zoom. Some of those include either student networking opportunities through the department or presentations from faculty also. And then if that wasn't enough, there's also every spring and graduate student conference, which is available to all of our online students to attend as well. That does take place in person on campus. But the past several years, there has also been an online component where students can participate in attending sessions and panels throughout the conference, which makes for another opportunity for students to participate.
I can take India's question. So India asked in the chat, I would like to know if it's possible to take courses back to back in the 2 8-week sessions during the semester For example, taking a course during the fall A term and then going on to take a course during the fall B term? The answer to that question is absolutely. And that's what most of our students do. They map out their courses to where they take one course per 8-week term for courses that are offered in an 8-week fashion. As Dr. Kong mentioned, some of our courses operate in a 16-week format. So if you decided to take a 16-week course and an 8-week course, there may be a time at which you're taking 2 classes at the same time. But the short answer is that yes, it's absolutely possible to take 2 courses within the duration of the entire semester. So that is what most of our students choose to do. And if you're admitted to the program, you'll work with myself, the online student advisor, as well as your faculty advisor to kind of identify your course options and see what would be most feasible for your schedule. All of our students are kind of in a unique circumstance where maybe they're working part-time, maybe they're working full-time, maybe they have very busy personal schedules. So there's a lot of flexibility with how you choose to map out your courses. But yes, that's absolutely an option. India also asks, in addition, I know a speaker mentioned it's common to complete your program within a full calendar year. In your opinion, is it feasible to aim for completion in 2 semesters? So generally speaking, most of our students will complete the program in maybe sometimes closer to 18 months. So I would say that 2 semesters would be very ambitious, just to be completely transparent. I have seen students complete the program in 2 semesters. It does require a pretty heavy course load, so I'm not sure if it's particularly advisable. But again, if you're admitted to the program, you'll work closely with your faculty advisor to see if that is feasible for your schedule. And again, because of the uniqueness of everyone's schedules, what's feasible for you might not be feasible for another person. So I certainly don't want to say that it's not feasible, but it's certainly not feasible for some of our students, so I don't want to make promises.
Brianna, to add to what you just said, it also depends on if the person is working full-time, right? If they have a full-time job and family commitments, trying to finish in a year is hugely ambitious, as you said. I mean, you won't have a life outside of that. I think in general, we advise our students to do 1 course as, for fall A and another course for fall B, and that seems to work out for more people, for most students. They have a full-time job, but again, as Brianna said, it is your decision.
And just to elaborate, if you choose to take a course during each part of term, so 1 during part of term A and 1 during part of term B, you can do that for 4 consecutive semesters, which will allow you to complete the program in about 18 months, so about 1.5 years, which is still a pretty quick pace. So again, if you're admitted to the program, I would certainly recommend that you touch base with your faculty advisor to talk about what would be feasible for your schedule. You're most welcome.
Well, Rachel, I was going to say something, and your question actually is prompting me to is a good for me to say what I'm about to say. Is that I am not sure if we mentioned this earlier in our session. We do offer graduate certificates. So that is another way of sort of testing the waters if you're not sure if you want to be an online student, or even if you are interested in this particular topic. You can do a graduate certificate, and then the credits from our graduate certificate stack into our degree program. So that's one way to sort of explore this pathway. But you can even sort of scale it down even further and just do 1 online course, sign up for 1 online course and see if you like it. And there are ways to do that, and Brianna can sort of lay it out for you. So you can enroll in 1 online course. Again, it can be a course that is part of this program, so then you can sort of transfer credits should you choose to continue in that path. And generally, online learning is not for everybody, so I appreciate your question. And it's a good one because you're sort of evaluating whether it works for you or not. from what I have heard from many of our students, you have to be self-regulated, be good at managing your time. A lot of our students are adults who have work responsibilities, family responsibilities. So I'm always amazed at how well they manage their time. We often invite our current online students and alumni to online networking events. Travis and Brianna usually organize and facilitate that. So you can hear from our current and past students what they did to manage their time and how their experience was learning online. So that's something, maybe Rachel, you can attend one of those events, or maybe you can watch a recording of one of our past events to get a sense of what their experience was like. And so maybe you can get an inkling of whether this may be a fit for you or not.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Sangeeta. We do have a recording from an event that Travis hosted a little while ago that, you know, has some students talking about the online student learning experience. So we can certainly share that with you, Rachel, if you'd like to reach out to the online programs email that's shown on the screen here. Additionally, we do have some resources that are provided to us by the Center for Innovation in Teaching and Learning. And it's just a series of different articles kind of talking about how to succeed as an online student. So you can kind of, you know, explore those articles and see if those strategies seem like something that, you know, you would ideally align with from a learner perspective.
We also did get a question about if you have, say an individual has undergraduate coursework from quite a while ago, but has done graduate level coursework more recently and is then looking to enter into our EDM program. Your graduate level coursework will certainly be considered. And if you have a higher GPA and the graduate level coursework, that does show in your favor for admission into our graduate program. So even if you had maybe undergraduate program or coursework below the 3.0 GPA level, if you have graduate level coursework above that, the program does take that heavily into consideration, especially if that is more recent in time than your previous coursework. So did just want to share that for folks.
Yeah, thanks, Travis. As a department, EPAL philosophically really adheres to the idea of viewing the application holistically. So all of your application materials will be taken into consideration after you apply. So that's going to include your personal statement, that will include your letters of recommendation. As Travis mentioned, we will look at your previous transcripts, undergrad and graduate, if applicable, and take all of those application materials into account whenever you apply. So if you feel like you are maybe missing a mark with your undergraduate GPA or something like that, I would still encourage you to apply because the department really does adhere to conducting a holistic approach when reviewing applications.
Any other questions? While folks are thinking, I do have one more poll just for feedback for folks. Feel free to, don't have to answer it right now. It's just what were your thoughts and did we meet your expectations? So you don't have to answer that if you're not taking off now, or if you'd like to stick around for more questions. We still have plenty of time and want to make sure that we get any questions answered that everybody asks. Just wanted to start this before in case anybody needs to take off. Any other questions from folks? Oh, I did think of one other thing that I didn't get to touch base on when talking about ways for students to connect and resources. We also have a great Canvas group space that Brianna has helped design with some input from others that is available for online students throughout the entire time you're in the program, that contains a lot of different resources. like some of those articles that Brianna was talking about, including links to videos and things like that to help support you throughout the program. And then there are also always weekly emails to help keep up on what is going on in both online programs, but in the department that for ePoll as well, that go out, letting folks know about different opportunities to participate, whether that's in events or timeline things that are going on throughout the semester. Reminders about, when registration opens for courses for the next semester, when those registration deadlines happen, and other check-ins as you move throughout your program that we find that students find very helpful. Any other questions from folks? All right, well, if you think of anything afterwards, maybe watching this back later or after as you're doing something else throughout your day, if you think of any other questions about the program, again, please reach out to us at onlineprograms@education.illinois.edu. We're happy to answer any questions that you might have and get you that information. We look forward to seeing your applications for the program and would love to have you join us here at the University of Illinois and the Orange and Blue. So thank you all for joining us today, and we hope to see your applications and you join us for the program in the fall. Take care, everyone.